So hello again for everybody and welcome to our webinar. Today we will present you the global trends of multi-channel marketing for 2017 and how to serve good content for the customer through the right channel at the right time.
So let us firstly introduce ourselves. My name is Julia and today I'm with my teammate Mary representing VISEVEN. So over 7 years our company has been serving pharmaceutical customers in establishing multi-channel marketing strategy and producing the content.
We work with our partners to ensure the integration into corporate workflow, and some of them you could see and view right now on the slide.
So we might as well have met personally as we are a regular speaker or exhibitor at a range of the global events. So enough here. Let us start and look at the year 2016 and try to foresight 2017.
Yeah, first of all, let us look back what the year 2016 was. We will start with the sales reps. So much of the success of the entire sales organization rests on the productivity and efficiency of its medical representatives. So reps are the primary enablers of the customer's experience in the sales process. These employees are on the ground engaging customers and facilitating new deals. However, according to Cloudtable's Day in the Life of a Salesperson report, while half of sales representatives say that relationship building is their favorite activity, the data actually shows that most of their time is still spent on non-sales tasks, such as manually entering data, calendaring, and account maintenance. Thus, there is still room to facilitate the rep's routine on the one hand and also suggests us to use other channels to close the gap.
So we have been a rise of the millennial HCP. They have grown up in a digital world. They are digital natives. They understand the digital landscape and respond effectively to its many evolutions. They appreciate the visual nature of the environment. They are capable of leveraging the full power of the digital world while broadening their horizons, interests, and skills. Patients and healthcare professionals now have access to ever-increasing amounts of information, those from big data and from personal data. Millennial HCPs shift from brand to outcome-focused communication, those with pharma and patients. Then one study found that 61% of specialist physicians would choose a treatment partly based on the availability of the patient support program, suggesting that millennial HCP brand loyalty can be secured through supportive treatment programs that meet more than the minimum requirements. So the challenge is to these millennial HCPs to leverage their agile, iterative methodologies within an established, rigorous industry that rightly prioritizes not failing.
So a new type of patients is there too. He is empowered by the availability of multiple treatment options and choices. It means that pharma companies need to find, kind of new patient-focused ways to compete and to stay ahead. Beyond the pill services, patient support programs, and the like represented here, the millennial patients, the patients of tomorrow, are more demanding. They require tailored treatment programs that, consider their lifestyle, their work around them. Adherence is flipped on its head, and the problem becomes to refrain from how can we make a patient adhere to our drug to how can our drug adhere to this patient's lifestyle.
So consumers are fiercely loyal to the brand they like to consume and see a brand values as an extension of their own. One study revealed that 64% of millennials are more brand loyal or as brand loyal as their parents. But what does this mean for healthcare? Could the millennials' brand loyalty be secured in healthcare by providing and supporting a seamless patient journey? And if a patient feels so supported, so understood, and cared for by one pharma company's approach, would they not want to go back to that same company when they have a different ailment requiring a different drug?
So we have prepared a selection of trends for the next year. What processes will stay and what will vanish? So let us see. First of all, there has been noticed global digital technologies trend in doctors' pharmacists communication. Compared to the previous year, the number of companies that have armed its sales force with interactive presentations has doubled, 30% against 15. But still, at the moment, there are only 30% do use e-detailing. In addition, everybody is talking about multi-channel and 60% of companies are going to implement CLM if we are taking the countries of Eastern Europe. What does it mean for pharma? Well, first of all, the demand for digital marketing talents that will be absolutely called to implement digital projects. Being at the IFA Pharma in London this year, we have noticed a tendency, of internal infrastructure development that is going to be responsible for all the promotion innovations that must be customer oriented. So this is the next year trend. As any technology implementation is always fraught with some risks, some challenges, it could be feasible only for the experts. At the same time, digital technology introduction itself opens up more opportunities to communicate to the end clients, either to a doctor or a pharmacist, for example. Here new opportunities arise to choose an appropriate channels of communication that suit the best for a particular customer. We should choose that one that are most popular and most effective. To measure and analyze the effectiveness of each of them are the tasks for analysts already.
So as we can see, the previous trend is explained by the fact that e-detailing leads to the improvement of the dialogue with the clients and evokes heightened interest among HCPs and pharmacists. So according to various researches, HCPs prefer receiving information about medicine products in an interactive and engaging manner. For example, in the form of graphs, diagrams, tables, infographics, etc. Moreover, the very form of data submission saves time during the call and enables memorizing of more details.
So another trend gaining popularity is remote detailing. It includes remote calls via web conferences. There could be telephone calls and mailing campaigns. The majority of pharma experts really draw the attention and realize the significance of remote calls, as it is difficult to allocate even 5 minutes with medical representatives, taking into consideration busy schedules of healthcare professionals. In the case of remote calls, they can set a call at convenient time, paying more attention to the topic of discussion. The research carried out by Quintiles IMS aimed to find out what positive moments do the clients see in such channel of communication and actually whether they are willing to attend such a call one more time. So as a result of that particular investigation, 15% of companies are already using remote calls, 40% of respondents are piloting such an approach, while 60% are just planning to use in the nearest future remote e-detailing. So the main benefits of remote communication, we could distinguish approximately four of them, the main one. So the first, that it is really easy to set a call. The same works with its postponing or canceling. They are really time-saving. And like one more, as 57% of respondents actually took part in such calls at home, there is, no worries about one's dressing, at least from the waist down. And the last one, but not meaningful, that it's easier to put questions, it's easier to focus on the discussion as nothing distracts. But sometimes it happens if not taking into consideration kids running around at home, but there is always a way to close them somewhere. At the same time, following 94% of respondents, they wouldn't mind to visit one online meeting again. In addition, the duration of remote calls it is twice higher than the duration of face-to-face. So 40% lasts from 5 to 10 minutes, 50% 10, 20 minutes. That means that the medical representatives were able to discuss all the questions that could arise and fight, more objections, raising doctors' loyalty.
So next trend, which is observed on the global pharmaceutical market, is increasing popularity of health mobile apps among patients. According to the research of Mobile Health Market Report 2013-2017 Research to Guidance, 52% of users of mobile gadgets search for medical information through smartphones. So this opened the epoch of mobile content and necessity to actively use mobile apps as a channel for communication with the clients. Even now, the leaders in the creation and usage of mobile apps are the companies like Sanofi, Merck, Johnson& Johnson, Novartis. By the way, according to the researches conducted by Mobile Maker in January 2016, the average user of such an application is a man of 35 years old. This is the answers of 54% of respondents.
But at the same time, more and more attention is paid to wearable gadgets. They could be smart clocks, some glasses, photo, video gadgets, or like kind of fitness trackers. Moreover, almost half of the owners synchronize their wearable gadgets with the smartphones in order to monitor, for example, their pulse, the blood sugar level, or the amount of consumed calories, medication intake time, and so on and so forth. So in the report, the Wearable Life 2.0 PwC told that even now 49% of owners of wearable gadgets use them to monitor their state of health. Such type of gadgets help to better plan trainings, to reduce the stress, boost efficiency at work and at home. So pharma companies should take into consideration this trend not only while planning their work, but also, in order to be technically prepared to support their clients.
So basing on the results of the calls activity of Salesforce users, we can point out the preferred channels of communication for HCPs. The majority of HCPs prefer private messages in taking into consideration constantly limited time that they can afford for exchanging of experience with medical representative. Despite the infinite quiets in front of the physician office, though short time but live contact is always perceived in a more positive manner. As everyone likes to look in the eye of the person whom you rely on in further treatment of patients. But in such a compressed timetable, the indispensable channels of communication are the accustomed aspects of our life, the gadget. The age of HCP, who is our target audience, is becoming younger, not to mention that the older generation of 2000 can't do without digital technologies. But we should not, of course, consider all the digital methods to be able to replace live communication. Because live communication is still a perfect way to back up deals on the meeting in order to send additional information to the doctor's email, which won't get a dust, but will contain additional information sources based on the needs and priorities of each HCP. That is all about mentioned channels of communication are rather additional methods of delivering the key messages, which are oriented on individual approach to each of your clients. One of the worldwide trends is creation of very specialized online forums, communities, blogs. In a word, these are the platforms for experience exchanging among professionals. So in this case, very important to follow the set of rules of leading parallel channels of communication. And the first one is the main aim of the marketing cycle must unify the key messages in different channels. The second point is that information shouldn't be repeated. And the last but not the least, the focus should be made on the benefits of each channel, like visualization, unbiased KPI, targeted information, communication in the real life, time, and actually at the appropriate time.
Yeah, so actually the usage of the CLM platform in the world market managed to prove itself as a really efficient tool for improving communication with your doctors during the call activity. Reinforce our conviction by statistics, I suggest you to look at the diagram. So the most attractive thing for the medical representatives, as they were particularly the respondents of that very investigation, is that they have the possibility to work in a flexible manner, even taking into consideration plenty of restrictions of the marketing plan. They can react on the changes beyond their control, having a powerful tool in hand and all the materials that they need. They can plan, conduct, and complete the calls on the fly. The usage of such a tool not so much help us to sell as to build warm relationship with your clients, as you are that main channel, that the main source of such valuable information about the products, about the leading treatment trends, for they are such precious patients that we also are. Don't forget about that.
Then with so many communication channels in place and so many stakeholders involved, like medical reps, physicians, patients, how we can not just combine but also cross channels. So you can just create a website or mobile application, but it is not enough. Multi-channel marketing activities needs to be implemented step by step and at the beginning need to constitute at least 20% of all the interaction with the customer. So having a platform can help cross the communication channels and unite stakeholders. When we build the platform, we need to understand the following. For whom we build the platform. Like it can be physicians of different categories, nurses, patients, even relatives. Then the content, what our customers want to see and do. Do they want to download a mobile app to view the presentation or some studies? And of course, resources. What do the customers need to access the platform from? Is it smartphone or is it website? So while creating such a platform, make sure that the user journey is crystal clear. What do they do with the app? However, not all customers are ready to move all communication to digital format. It may even happen that they would like to meet or attend the event, so rolling out your communication platform is just the beginning. We need to have the resources like time and human to run the content strategy. And content is absolutely the king. But without regular update, it is not even worth to start. So if you decide to have a platform, it will support you in engaging the physician in a patient-centric process, enable doctors to help patients and achieve better treatment outcomes, as every physician wishes to share valuable content with a patient, especially if this information is hard to find. And of course, cross-communication channels.
So here you could only imagine what happens on the background of the platform with all that cross channels of communication. How we could construct it and how we populate it with proper content. So having the internal digital factory will definitely be an advantage. The top attributes of the digital factory to assist you are human power, technology standard on the background for sure, supporting the agility of processes and decision making, and of course the ability to make rapid changes and updates as quick as, for example, 3 minutes for text changes or even 4 minutes for media updates. So the data about the user journey, content-based interactions, is the source to support you in the decision-making processes.
Yep, so we are pretty all with the presentation. Thank you very much for your time, for your attention. You're welcome to write to the emails which are indicated on the screen.
Yeah, feel free to address us with your questions. We will be also glad to see you all at our next webinars, and feel free to visit our official website, that is VISEVEN.com, and set the request for additional demos. Have a nice evening.
Goodbye.